today with you and talk to you a little bit about the R&D, our research and development arm in AVAYA, and what we do within the regions. We have heard how technology has changed the world we live in. Today, any content, any service is available to you, to me, is available to all of us at any point in time and at any place that we want. However, the key to succeed in this environment is actually as of how we make this content, these services available to our customers and to the consumers. I always like to give the examples, of my two little daughters, and many of the sales team has heard it many times. They, for example, expect that any display, any projected screen like this, any TV, is enabled by touch. Right? They expect that if they hold a remote, if they take my mobile, that they can control it by voice. So it's really not only about the content and the services, it's really about the experience that we provide to consumers and our customers in using and accessing these services and this content. In the next 15 minutes, I will briefly talk about three topics that are important to me. One is, what is our investment from an R&D organization into the region and into innovation in India? Two, why I believe that AVAYA has what it takes to make you and your customers successful. And three, because this experience AVAYA event, so I want to give you a glimpse as of what it means to experience AVAYA. We as a company have started our R&D operations in India about 15 years ago. Today we have presence in three major locations, being Hyderabad, Pune, and Bangalore. If you count our R&D strength, that's really core R&D, software development, test, and some related functions. We are probably about 600 plus at this point in time within India. Most likely around 30% or more of the global R&D. But the key here really is a different thing. The key is that you can name any AVAYA product that you know, anything that you see outside of the booth. In one way or the other, it's being worked out of the center here in India. Many of them are even designed from market requirements, over user experience, to software, to test out of these centers. We shall talk a little bit about patents and something that we are really proud about. Just to give you some relation. So overall as AVAYA, we hold a couple of thousands of patents. And AVAYA has a long history with Bell, AT&T, and so on and so forth. Over the last 4 years, we have added about 10% to that through patents really created here out of India. So these are patents that are filed in India, these are patents that are filed globally as well. But it kind of gives an idea about our strengths to innovate out of this location. Last but not least, we have a great presence here and would be of waste from our side not to use this presence to also address the local market. The way we do it is something what we call a 360-degree engagement. So let me talk you through this for a minute. Of course, first and foremost, our partners like you, right? It's a great honor to us, and it's really a great opportunity for us to interact with you at the booth space, or maybe after the keynote presentation, and have a conversation about technology and how we can help you. So partners are very, very important to us. The second element is the developer community, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later in the presentation. But basically, we are operating out of India something called the Snap Store. Vishal has talked about Breeze as a platform. So Breeze is a platform where you can write business applications on top of it. And if you want to market them, if you want to sell them, you can use the Snap Store as a kind of an interface to do that. The hackathon that Vishal mentioned was something that we are really, really proud of. So we had about, I believe, 1,600 plus registrations. So more than 1,600 people across this country have registered to participate in our hackathon. And they have formed about 400 teams and submitted 120 plus ideas for applications to us. And then, Vishal mentioned it, they took 24 hours to really build very verticalized applications based on our SDK. So it was really an impressive way to see how people picked it up. On the talent front, you're probably aware that many companies, particularly in the R&D space, they directly go to campus, hire from there, and then groom the talent. We do this as well, but we even go a step further. We, for example, have our own curriculum at universities. So we have put our own content. We are sharing the innovations that we have and really start from there and then take it forward. We are also interacting very strongly with the industry. So you might have heard about the 10,000 startups initiatives that NESCOM has in India. So they are, for example, what they call startup warehouses in the country. There is one in Bangalore, in Pune, in Mumbai, and many other countries, many other cities in this country. Where startups come and are supported to deliver their products to the market for the first time. And we work very closely with NESCOM to support and coach these startups and see how our technology can help them to innovate. Last but not least, we're always happy to work with the sales organization and directly approaching customers. So you would know that either together with you or directly, we are interacting with customers from an R&D perspective and provide customized demo. We provide the ability for customers to directly talk to the R&D engineers who have actually developed this product. I've talked a little bit about technology change at the beginning. So give me 2-3 minutes to talk about how the digital economy has really changed the industry that we are working in. You might recall a couple of years ago, or you might want to call it a decade or so, we were a very hardware-centric business. It was all about unified communications. It was all about selling boxes to our customers. Then a term came up that was something like software is eating the world. So everything suddenly was about, okay, hardware is bad, let's move to software, right? It's all about better margins, more flexibility, and so on and so forth. And the interesting part is that, as all of us know, is change is constant. So we didn't, business environment didn't stop for us there. It actually accelerated much more. Just think of how Uber or how Airbnb disrupted the industries that they are working in. So we are now in a phase that everybody is referring to as digital transformation, where things are all about on-demand, pay-per-use models delivered through cloud. And what makes this phase interesting are a few things. So one is, you don't need hardware and you need large environments to compete with each other. Every local business around the corner can compete with any other business across the globe, right? Cloud makes it happen, software delivery mechanisms make it happen for everybody to compete with anybody. Consumers have changed also a whole lot, right? Everything is about on-demand, as I noted it before. Everything is about a customized experience. And last but not least, there are a few large companies, we call them digital giants, that really show that competition is not only about the small businesses competing with each other and across the globe, but it's also about a few large technology-driven companies who really compete in each and every industry. You can name Google, Amazon, top of the world, and so on and so forth. There's one quote that I like in that context, which says something like this. If we don't invent the thing that kills Facebook, somebody else will. So this is a statement that Mark Zuckerberg puts in the employee handbook of every new Facebook employee. And it's to remind them that we never can stop to innovate. And I think it's something that's very true. So we live now in a very verticalized world where digitization is the key to everything. There are 3 tenets or 3 attributes that I believe really create the ability for us to be successful and create the ability for your customers to be successful with AVAYA. The first one is the open platform architecture. I'll have a slide on each of them in a minute. The second is the developer ecosystem that I already talked about. And the last is something that I call consumption choice. On the open platform architecture, I go back to the Breeze platform again. So irrespective of whether we develop together with you or we customize solutions for CC, UC, or elements of this, we are providing a consistent API and SDK across all those different solution spaces. So what is very key to us here is that we do have our own clients, and I hope you all have seen the Equinox client outside there. But the same SDK, the same libraries that we use to build those products are available to you as well and our customers. So we don't hide any capability. So So we can integrate in any business application and have the same capabilities as with our own clients. On the developer ecosystem, many of you might be aware of DevConnect as a platform to learn about Avaya's SDKs and to get introduced into development with Avaya products. The Snap Store I mentioned earlier is a platform where you can actually sell applications that are built on top of bricks. And then we also support our developer ecosystem as a collaboratory, so people don't have to invest into server or software on their own, but they can get access to SDKs and develop their own. And then we conduct a whole lot of boot camps and hackathons to really streamline innovation in the ecosystem. Now my last point on the innovation side and platform side was consumption choice. And this is irrespective of whether it's team engagement, UC, or customer engagement, CC, and it's also irrespective of which product we are talking about. The most prominent and most popular consumption mode for most of our customers is probably still the on-premise, right? So where customers own the data center, they own the assets in the data center, they run their own instance, and they maybe pay for it as a perpetual license or they go on subscription, right? But we understand that some customers want to make one step more. They want to say that, okay, I want to still retain the full control of it, but I don't want to own the assets anymore. So they might go to an infrastructure service provider of their choice and say that, okay, I want to deploy Avaya's application stack into that environment. It's still my own environment. I just use it from an infrastructure provider. It's still my own instance that is available. Then there are customers who really look to you and to us to take more charge. So they want us to use our data centers to deploy the software, but they still want to have a dedicated instance for whatever reasons their business might need this. And then on the other spectrum side, if you just compare on-premise on the one extreme, on the other extreme is what everybody of us would probably call public cloud, and is about a deployment that is a shared instance with multiple customers, most likely deployed in a large infrastructure, cloud data center, and available as a subscription or pay-per-use kind of a model. The key that I want to say is, and I think that we all understand, is the world is not black and white, right? So in many cases, it's more a story about hybrid. So there might be customers who have made large investment on premise, and yes, they want to move to a more cloud-centric deployment model, but not all in once, right? So the key is really to provide all of these different variations and combinations to them and go this journey with them. And I believe we have the technology that is there to do that. All right, back to Experience Avaya. I hope, and I've seen many of you, that you have already visited the three quadrants or the three experience zones or demo booths that we have prepared outside for you. And on the team engagement side, you hopefully have seen Equinox, but also seen the power of customizing Equinox. If you haven't, please come and have a conversation around that. On the CC side, we are presenting Oceana, and then on the last booth, it's combined networking and professional services. So Equinox is really delivering on a vision that we have for a long time. It's really about to collaborate anywhere from any device and across any channel. And irrespective of whether it's our application or a custom application, you get the same user experience. Oceana is a similar story, but then in the contact center world. So it's also based on top of the Breeze platform as a foundation. And it also has similar attributes. So we try to deliver the same experience to customers irrespective of the channel they contact us and irrespective of the device they use to access that channel. And then on the agent and supervisor side, we provide a unified HTML5 desktop that really brings together all the aspects of the contact center. Networking is all about Fabric. And we have now about more than 1,000 deployments of the Fabric technology, which is a great proof of the strength and the maturity of the Fabric infrastructure. We also have recently launched something called AVAYA Search, which is all about IoT, where you connect many different types of devices into your network and you still maintain security and zones and so on and so forth. There's one thing that you haven't seen outside and that you will not be able to see outside, but something that I want you to share with you as well. And you can visit this online by going on Zang.io. So Zang is another AVAYA brand. It's an AVAYA-owned company. Just a brand where we work on solutions that are born in the cloud. So, ground up built for cloud architecture. And we are seeing what all innovations we can do with this platform. So on Zang.io you will find something called Zang Cloud, which is a cloud-based API to create communication-enabled applications. You will find a UC-centric solution, but also a solution what we call Zang Spaces, which is about a collaboration apps for team purely based on cloud. With that, I want to just quickly reiterate 3 items. One is we are really heavily invested into innovation, and not innovation globally, but innovation really out of this country. 2, irrespective of what the business environment is, whether we call it digital transformation, whether we called it a few years ago hardware to software movement. Irrespective of that, we have the technology and the talent to help you to succeed in that market. And last but not least, it's really all about experiences. I gave the examples at the beginning. Everything is about experience, and I would like to invite you after the session to spend some more time with us at the booth, have a conversation of what it means to deliver great experiences, and see how we can help you with your customers. Thank you for spending some time.